Alright. Hey, music producers and sound designers, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be designing a sound in Reaktor, and that's going to be, we're going to be designing, or we're going to be going from blank to banger, building a crazy bass in Reaktor. So let's get started. So we are going to start off with opening up Reaktor. We're going to open that up to a blank page. And the first thing we're going to bring in is a sawtooth. So I'm going to bring in a oscillator, and that's going to be our sawtooth. So we're going to change that to a sawtooth. Looks something like that. And that's going to start off our aggressive, harmonically rich, bassy, gritty sound. So I'm going to grab my wires, and I'm going to wire that in just for now. And now let's hear what that sounds like. I'm going to make sure I turn down the volume before we do that, just to make sure we don't blow out our eardrums. It's really important. There we go. Still might be too loud, so I'm going to turn it down a little more. So that's our saw wave. We don't want to hear that too long because it's not mixed with anything else. So I'm going to add a filter in there to really soften that sound. And let's see if we send that out, what happens. So I play. It's a little bit better, a little less harsh. So it's cutting off some of the highs so that they're not so buzzy. Some of the resonance being cut off for us. So that's a good thing. We added low pass filter. And now I'm going to add an envelope generator. And that's going to give us some ADSR control over our sound. How about we dial in a short attack, medium decay, and we'll dial in maybe no sustain, and that'll keep it clear and punchy. And then we'll tweak it. So we'll probably tweak the decay, the release. So let's add that into our chain and see what we get. So we're hearing the sound initially start, but there's nothing to repeat the sound because we don't have an amp connected. So I'm going to connect an amp to this, and I'm going to connect the filter to the amp. So now we have control over our sound. I'm just going to add some modulation. And connect our ports, our in and out ports, that is. And the gate is going to go to my note in. So when I play note, I get a sound. So that's sounding pretty good already. So we're going to keep going and building out this sound. I'm going to add a little distortion to it and maybe shift it down an octave. Okay, so let's bring in some distortion. Go to our racks. And we're going to go to our rounds. Just trying to find some distortion that we can bring in and add to our sound. I'm going to do maybe some driver. Bring that in. And patch it up. So that gives us a heavier sound. I want some more movement on the sound. It's not really doing it for me. So let's create some movement on the sound. I'm gonna bring in an LFO because I want it to move a little bit more than it is. It's a little bit stagnant, a little bit stale. Let's add some LFO movement. So we're gonna put that on the waveform. And I want it to be a little bit faster of a movement, so let's speed it up. Okay, finish off with some reverb and delay, or just some reverb. Okay. Okay, we got our size, we got some reverb, we got some distortion. I just like some more movement on it. Let's assign that to the FM port. Okay, so let's hear that in action. Bring it over to our timeline. Gonna turn on a metronome, dial in some notes on the timeline. Gonna change my time scale to probably a 16th or 32. Let's get a 4-bar loop. Okay, I'm gonna tweak the sound just a little bit more, give it a little bit more more aggression. So let's double this waveform. So the way we're gonna do that, I'm just gonna bring in a mixer. Gonna blend them together. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna bring up my volumes. I'm liking that much more with the tuning. So I'm gonna keep that. Experiment elbow. No, we'll keep the original. Yeah, I like that much more. We'll add a little reverb onto the sound. And there we go. We got our finished sound. So we can then play a melody in or anything we'd like with that little bit of tweaking. So just gonna give an example loop we can use. Okay, let's duplicate that. I'm gonna make the bar a little bit bigger. I don't want to loop it. I just want to extend it. And then okay, we got some rhythmic pattern going. And that's where we can experiment with our sounds. We can check our tonic. So we are in F major. So just remind me. What key we're in. So we can then draw out some notes. So let's grab melodic instrument and we can shape some. Let's do this. Looking for a specific sound. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I am looking for a particular. There it is, analog. So let's use that because we can come up with some more sounds. So we can choose a preset, or we can do something else. So I think I'm gonna choose a lead preset, and I'm gonna go from there. Just in the feeling or vibe that we're going for. So we're not trying to create a full song yet. We're just trying to create a vibe that we can actually make something out of. Okay, we're gonna experiment with a few more sounds. Let's capture that. Let's see what we got. We're gonna start that from the beginning. Just gonna do a little bit of timing issues. Okay, I'm not liking that, so I'm gonna start something else. Let's just see how we're doing for time. Just gonna build out the loop just a little bit more. Okay, sometimes you just gotta start with a different actual instrument. So I'm gonna bring some drums in. Not gonna use those drums. I could use MPC drums, but I'm gonna use something else. Just bringing a drum kit just to get a feel for a rhythm. Let me just bring down the volume a little bit. Yeah, it's too loud. Little timing issue. Okay, so I think that's how I want it to be. Every beat. Just gonna shorten these notes just a bit. Shorten. So like this. Let's just see how that works. we gotta add a couple more drums to this. Okay. I kind of want some percussion. Okay, we can add some loop percussion. That's okay. As long as we're generating ideas, I think it's fine to use these loops. But we'd go ahead and create our own sounds from this after that. But it's no big deal. So let's keep building up. Let's see. I don't like that so much. So let's see. That's better. I'm just gonna EQ this because there's some tone actually bothering me a little bit. So this is called creative EQ. So there's two forms of EQ. One is creative and one is corrective. I'll definitely be diving deeper into how to do that in other sessions, but for now we're just gonna observe how to do it. So we're gonna throw that on there. So I want to eliminate something. Now I tighten the mid. So I'm going to cut some. And I'm going to again do a little bit of a creative cutting. Okay, that's a little better for me. Kind of want to eliminate something. So I'm going to go back to number 4. I'm going to use my handy notch because I really want to notch something out. Okay, that's a little better for me. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of drum bus, just a little bit more dynamics, because I feel like it needs it. Yeah. A little bit of drive on there. From that to that. Let's see in context. Okay. I'm liking that. This is definitely something you could use to start on. So I want a little bit of a blaring lead, a little bit more obnoxious sounding, and I think I want it to have an amp on it. So let's do that. It's going to add this translate master, by the way. A little bit of mixing as I'm going along, but yeah. Let's bring in just the lead. I'm gonna keep that up for a second. I feel like it's more transparent a little bit without it. So I'm just gonna add in just a lead to finish off our loop. We're just going to bring in that lead. Sometimes you got to remind yourself of what you're doing as you're doing it to make sure you stay in flow of creating the track you want to create. You don't have to leave it up to luck or chance or, just random feelings. I mean, you could use random feelings, but you kind of want to decide what vibe you want to go for and go for that vibe. Decide what key you want to use and go for that key. And the more you know your keys, the more you know your scales, the more you know your what kind of vibe you're going for, or the genre you're going for, the more you can kind of target your track. So yeah. Adding a little more rhythmic feel. Okay, so gonna bring in that lead, see how we're doing for time. I think it's gonna be one of these. I'm liking that. Gonna mute out some parts. I want a little more LFO movement to this, so let's increase the rate. Maybe change the waveform a little bit. The VCO 1, and then cut. High cut? Nah, I like that. Okay, let's see if we can match this up. Okay, so we're gonna try some kind of melody. So we said we were in F major, so let's do that. That's a little late. I'm just gonna bring in some kind of hat quickly. I don't think that matches. I'm gonna remove it. Okay, we're done. I don't even know what that is. Sounds like a straw. Okay, and there we go. We got our finished loop. So you can go ahead and use that in your tracks. And remember to be creative when you're using sound design. We took that Reaktor patch, we created that bass, and we were able to use that in a production of our own. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. This is going to be our banger bass. And that's all we have for today. So hopefully you're able to learn something, get creative, keep sound designing. And if you'd like to dive deeper, don't forget to click on the link in the description in my bio for a deep dive in a masterclass about sound design. So I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace out for now, and keep sound designing.